A very good evening to you and welcome to Primetime News. I'm Sandro Ferdinando.
And I'm Nicola De Souza.
So we are reporting live from the Newsfirst Center here in Colombo. And as you can see, there's many people coming here. So if you are still at home and not visiting this area, it's about time that you come here and pay us a visit, because there are so much of wonderful things happening. There's an amazing band playing right behind us. So it's about time that you should come.
You can come say hi as well.
Exactly. Come say hi to us. We would love to hear from you guys.
And with that, we go on to tonight's headlines.
Dissolution of Parliament is null and void. Supreme Court holds resolution by 2/3 majority is needed to dissolve before 4.5 years. Ranil Wickremesinghe says, "We trust that the President will promptly respect the judgment of the court." President and former President hold talks with UPFA parliamentary group about the future course of action. Elections Commission prepares to go to the Supreme Court demanding provincial council election.
The Supreme Court today unanimously held that the gazette issued by the President dissolving Parliament be quashed. The Supreme Court's determination was that the fundamental rights of the 13 petitioners had been violated as a result of this gazette.
The judgment pertaining to the fundamental rights petitions filed against the Gazette issued on the 9th of November dissolving Parliament was delivered at 4:55 p.m. today. The petitions were taken up before a 7-judge bench comprising Chief Justice Nalin Pereira and Justices Sisara Diabru, Buwaneka Aluvihare, Vijit Malalgoda, Prasanna Jayawardena, Priyantha Jayawardena and Murthu Fernando. The main judgment was read out by Chief Justice Nalin Pereira, while Justice Sisara Diabru also read out the judgment. The 7-judge bench declared that the President does not have the power to dissolve Parliament before 4.5 years. The Supreme Court held that if the President is to dissolve Parliament before 4.5 years, there must be a resolution passed with a 2/3 majority in Parliament. The UNP, TNA, JVP, ACMC and other political parties along with civil society submitted petitions against the Gazette issued dissolving Parliament. Initially, it was Chief Justice Nalin Pereira and Justices Prasanna Jayawardena and Priyantha Jayawardena who considered the petitions on the 13th of last month and issued an interim injunction against the Gazette until the 7th of this month. The Supreme Court, taking up the cases, said that the case will be heard on the 4th, 5th and 6th of December. Intervenient petitions were then submitted by Udaya Gammanpilla and others, which also requested the Supreme Court to take up the cases before a full bench instead of a 3-judge bench. Thereby, the 7-judge bench that was appointed took up the cases from the 4th of this month until the 7th and considered the petitions filed.
We salute the unbiased independent judiciary of our country from the bottom of our hearts. It is not us who should take this next step from here. It is His Excellency the President who should take the next step. We commend his strength and his leadership. Now we must ask him to enact the constitution in the correct manner. The biggest drama in the history of the country was enacted for the past 6 weeks in the country. His Excellency President Maithripala Sirisena must appoint Ranil Wickremesinghe as the Prime Minister and appoint the Cabinet of Ministers and ensure the betterment of the people.
This is a big victory. We believe that the President will respect the rule of law in the future and appoint a Prime Minister and a government that commands a majority. We hope that this will be done today itself.
Even though we are not in agreement with the decision, we have no other court to go to. This is the apex judicial body in the country. If the apex judiciary in the country believes that this should not go to the mandate of the people, we can only take the fight forward with the people.
The Supreme Court of the country showed its independence. It depicts that they stand on the side of the people.
We must hold discussions with the President and we must look into forming the government.
We accept the decision of the judiciary. We do not challenge the judiciary. We will discuss as to what the next step should be.
This is victory for everyone.
This is a very important decision. What has been proved is that the president should act under the constitution of the country. The conspirator government has been defeated. We demand the president continuously. You are bound to protect the constitution. Act according to the constitution. This is the limit of your power. Do not let the country fall further. Do not let our country get isolated in the face of international community. Ranil Wickremesinghe cannot be the true partner of democracy. Ranil Wickremesinghe is a rogue protector of the democracy. No one in parliament has the right to carry on a proper government. The parliamentary has been sold and resold many times. This parliament does not represent the true mandate of the people. We believe the parliament has a very limited set of actions. The parliament should pass laws to punish the conspirators. They should pass the 20th Amendment to the Constitution to abolish the executive presidency and to approve the motion to dissolve parliament.
President Maithripala Sirisena has summoned the UPFA MPs to the Presidential Secretariat following the verdict of the Supreme Court. Lakshman Yapa Abhiwardena responded to the questions raised by journalists.
නෑ එතුමා ඉතාමත්ම හොඳින් ඉන්නවා එතුමා කියන්නේ අපි ගන්න තීන්දුවට එතුමා එකගයි කියලා. කණ්ඩායම් තීන්දුවට එකගයි හෙටින් පස්සේ. ඔව්. ඒ කියන්නේ හෙට ඔබතුමා අවසන් තීන්දුවක් ගන්නවද? ඔව් පැහැදිලිව අපි අපි ආණ්ඩුවේ ඉන්න රැඳී සිටි උවමනාවක් නෑ මොකද විශේෂයෙන්ම බහුතරයක් නැත්නම් ඒ අපි බලන්නේ බහුතරය තියෙන්නේ දෙවන සන්දානෙත් එක්ක නම් දෙවන සන්දානෙත් එක්ක කටයුතු කරන්න අපි සූදානම් නෑ. ඒ අපි ඉන්නේ අපේ ස්ථාවරේ. ඔව්. ජනාධිපතිතුමා කිව්වද බහුතරය තියෙන පාර්ශ්වයට හෙට දවසේ තීන්දුව අනුව ලබා දීමක් සිදු කරනවා කියලා අනුබලය. නෑ එහෙම කිව්වේ නෑ හෙට දවසේ අපි තීන්දුවක් අරගෙන මාධ්‍යයට ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න.
Now, in a tweet, UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe says that we trust that the president will promptly respect the judgment of the courts. The tweet further reads, and I quote, "The legislature, judiciary and the executive are equally important pillars of a democracy, and the checks and balances that they provide are crucial to ensuring the sovereignty of its citizens." In more news, this was the situation at several locations across the country after the Supreme Court delivered its verdict.
He wants to dissolve before 4.5 years. They are not saying that. ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨාධිකරණ තීන්දුව ප්‍රකාශන පත් තිබෙනවා. ඒ අනුව කියවෙන්නේ මූලික අයිතිවාසිකම්.
Let's now listen to what the UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe had to say.
They have provided an interpretation regarding the constitution and has declared that what we have mentioned was correct. We commend that. The 2/3 of the parliament is necessary for the parliament to be dissolved. The sovereignty of the legislature has been affirmed. I thank all of you who came here to participate in this. We have to take the next step from here. That is to establish a government. The majority have spoken. We all hope to establish a government and go forward and to take the country forward once again. I do not hope to speak for longer. I want to thank all of you. Let us now prepare for the future. We will hold the meeting on the 17th.
අපි දැන් අනාගතයට ලෑස්ති වෙමු කියමු. ඒ වගේම අපේ රැස්වීම අපි 13 වෙනිදා පොත්.
Meanwhile, a group tried to enter the Lake House building this evening. The employees of Lake House protested and a special security was provided to the Lake House thereafter.
අනික අපි මහජන මිනිස්සු අපිට අයින් කරන්න බෑනේ ආයතන වැඩ කරන ඒගොල්ලෝ වැඩ කරන්නේ මෙතන ඉන්නේ කරුණාකරලා වැලකීම ඒගොල්ලෝ වැඩ කරන්නේ පාර හිටියේ මේකට එකගේ අර පැත්තට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ආරක්ෂක මේ ගානවනේ මේක ආණ්ඩුව වෙනස් වුණා ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉතින් ආණ්ඩුවක් නෑ යලා පොලිසිය හිස්කම් කියා ඉති තමයි ගෑනු තුන් දෙනෙකුට අර ගැටලුවේ නරුමේ ඉන්නේ පොලිසිය ඔක්කොම බලාගෙන හිටියා පොලිසිය සාක්ෂි ගෑනුන්ට ගහනකම් පොලිසිය බලන් හිටියා.
Now, before we go into a commercial break, let us remind you that we are reporting live from the Sri Lanka in Colombo, where we are bringing you the true meaning of Christmas. So if you still have not visited this area, it's about time that you come along with your loved ones, friends, family, and see what's happening here, because there are so many Christmas activities that we have planned, especially the Yes FM, Legends, MTV, the news bulletins, everything is going from here, and we would love to see you come visit us, and who knows, you may actually get to go on air. So with that being said, let's quickly go for a commercial break and come back with more news.
Oh shit, is it that camera now? So
Welcome back to the news. Still continuing in local news, an appeal was filed today that the appeals against the interim injunction order that was imposed by the Supreme Court against the functioning as a Prime Minister and the Cabinet of Ministers be taken before a 5-judge bench. The request was made by a motion of Ranil Wickremesinghe and a few other groups.
The Court of Appeal issued the interim injunction order preventing the functioning of Mahinda Rajapaksa as Prime Minister and the Cabinet of Ministers on the 3rd of this month. The appeals filed by Mahinda Rajapaksa and 49 others will be considered before the Supreme Court tomorrow. The group headed by Ranil Wickremesinghe requests that the appeals be taken up to consideration before a 5-judge bench. In the motion, he states that he is making this request to ensure that equality and justice will be protected.
The chairman of the Elections Commission attended an event in Hambantota this morning. Journalists questioned Mahinda Deshapriya regarding the current situation.
As per our schedule, the provincial council elections have been delayed. The presidential election should be held before the 9th of December 2019. The general elections will be based on the decision of the Supreme Court. If it is not dissolved, the election will be held somewhere around October in 2020. By 2020, there should be 3 elections. It is not over. The review committee meeting has not concluded as yet. As per the new decision, we cannot hold the elections based on the mixed system. We hope that the cabinet and the parliament will do the necessary changes to the acts or hold the election based on the previous system. We blame the political parties with regard to the people losing their right to vote. We hope to receive instructions of the Supreme Court regarding this.
Now, the support extended by the TNA to appoint Ranil Wickremesinghe as a Prime Minister has led to several controversial situations.
The United National Party lodged a police complaint today over a fake agreement between Ranil Wickremesinghe and R. Sambandhan circulating on social media.
When I saw this, I called both Ranil Wickremesinghe and R. Sambandhan and inquired whether such an agreement truly exists. They both said that this letter is fake and there is no such agreement. R. Sambandhan was even willing to make a statement over the non-existence of a fake agreement. An individual named Indrajit Kondadeniya is responsible for sharing this fake agreement on social media. I have already submitted a written document regarding this matter to the police. Ranil Wickremesinghe now says that he will bring in a new constitution while protecting the unity and abolishing the executive power. The Tamil community is now asking the Tamil National Alliance what they benefited by supporting Ranil Wickremesinghe. Even the former Chief Minister Vigneshwaran asks that. The TNA has gotten into a political problem and now Ranil Wickremesinghe wants to help them. There is a rumor that the UNP and the TNA have reached into an agreement to take over the country. And if there is one, we will not accept it. The TNA has made some requests, and one of them is to prioritize the development in the north, and the other request was to release lands. Even the president has agreed to that. The TNA has agreed to form a stable government. They will not receive any ministerial positions. They will act independently.
Ranil
Wickremesinghe, in the agreement with the TNA, has not agreed to build separate states with separate powers. And they also say that they will abolish the executive powers of the president. The symbol of a unitary government is a president. Abolishing it means that it will not be a unitary government. This is a danger to the country. Ranil Wickremesinghe took the first step of destroying the party into pieces. The TNA has voted for Ranil Wickremesinghe. Their only motive is to assist UNP in obtaining power and appointing Ranil Wickremesinghe as the Prime Minister. They have become the supporters of the UNP and have not fulfilled the expectations of the people. When MPs like Siddharthan and Shanti have said that they have received a promise from Ranil Wickremesinghe in writing, Sumandiran denies it. He says that neither a written promise was sought or given. A document in Sinhala is said to have signed by Sambandhan and Ranil was released yesterday. When he voted in favour of Ranil Wickremesinghe, an agreement was not signed. An agreement has not been signed even now. The TNA still remains in the opposition.
The Sri Lanka Freedom Party convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
Unless the Prime Minister decides to step down, this court decision or the so-called motion that was passed cannot do any harm to the position of the Prime Minister. The TNA says that they are not going to be part of the government of Ranil Wickremesinghe and says they will be the opposition. They won't accept the Prime Ministership of Ranil Wickremesinghe. Though they extend their support on various pre-agreed conditions, they clearly say they will not be in the government with Ranil. If you look at it in that way, what can be understood is that they have the support of 117. Ranil has the support of only 103 to make a government. Several politicians of the UNP had invited us to arrive at the parliament yesterday. No one, not the UNP, the former Prime Minister, the former cabinet, the JVP, the TNA, not the SLMC has challenged the removal of the former Prime Minister or the appointment of a new Prime Minister or the establishment of the government.
A participant event in Colombo, Politburo member of the JP Lal Kant expressed the following views.
The JVP does not accept the current constitution either. Our stance is that we need a new constitution. The French Revolution did not take place within the framework of law and order at that time. Can governments be formed beyond a country's constitution? The answer is yes, and this is practice. And this practice has already been recognized and implemented in our country as well. President Sirisena and Mahinda Rajapaksa conspired to gain power by going against the constitution. However, within few days, what happened? The conspiracy was defeated. The practical reality is that if a majority is not claimed by those appointed, the government will not function. Politics has destroyed our country, but politics is the only remedy to fix this crisis. There is no other option. Action must be taken. A commission to investigate this conspiracy must be established through parliament approval, and the conspirators must be summoned before the commission. Then we will only be left with two options. The public must come forward and remove the president from his official residence. However, we are unsure of which side the forces will support. If the forces and the police support the people, things will work out smoothly. However, if the forces go against the people, there will be bloodshed, leading to a larger crisis. They think these are jokes and games.
Commander, V-Force. Platinum Awards 2018.
Women in Sri Lanka do not usually like to lift weight. But I don't have that problem. I am different. I was able to win because I am different. We all need to have different objectives in life, but my current objective is to win the Platinum Award.
Sports First Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
Well, that's a wrap of your primetime news for tonight. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Nicola D'Souza reporting live from the Newsfirst Christmas Zone at the Echelon Square.
And I'm Sandro Ferdinando.
Take care and good night.
This is just a bunch of guys who like music, getting up on stage, enjoying ourselves, and hopefully you'll enjoy what we enjoy. Robert's got a quick hand. It look proud.